But now it's my pleasure to introduce this week's featured presenters. So we've got a group of them. Our amazing trades team made up of Shane Waddingham from Town and Country Inspections, Leo Coda from Stan Painting, Grant Powell, Newy Plumbing, Jason McCluskey from JSM Air Electrical, Jared Douglas from JD Electrical, and Uzo Bonchapevsky from Elekmark. Today's spotlight presentation will take on a different format, with all of our trade-related members coming up front to do a joint presentation on their services and how they work together to help clients. And if there's time, they might take some questions towards the end. So now I'll hand over to you guys.
Just pull everything out.
Is that all right, mate?
The right one?
Yep.
Yep. Right, I'm just going to do a, good morning everybody, I'm just going to do a basic outline of what I do first and how that helps my business with these boys in what they do in their trades. And because I was going first, I didn't know whether I actually had to do something that nobody knows about me today, Bill, but so I'll put it in anyway. There's only my mate Nat, he actually knows about this, but no one else knows about this. If I can get it to come up, yep. So this is I have 3 daughters now, but this here is my middle daughter, Willow. And I delivered her by myself at home. So it was an accident. I highly wouldn't recommend doing it. It was probably the worst moment and also the best moment of my life. The funny part was that when you're under that sort of duress and you don't know what's going on, 10 minutes into the conversation with the ambulance lady who was assuring me that I was doing a fantastic job, she realised I was actually holding my phone instead of putting it on loudspeaker and putting it on the floor and using both hands. But anyway. Is that not coming up?
Is that you?
It's, yeah.
Sorry.
So, just a little bit about Town and Country building and pest inspections. We obviously do building inspections, pest inspections, handover reports, depreciation inspections. So the first ones are self-explanatory for people buying or selling nowadays. Handover inspections are for people that are building a new home. And what I see out there in the market at the moment, I highly recommend if you do know anybody that's building a home that they get a handover report done. Because some of the work, especially in project homes, is, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Our quality service is our priority with our business, and that's why it's good for us that through BNI we feel quite comfortable with these guys, recommending these guys, because we know they have the same idea as us. So these are the other boys that are trades here today. I'm just going to put up a couple of photos of things that they've done, and they can just talk through you and explain to some of the stuff about what they do. First up, you were up first.
Basically, I had a customer got their power bill, and they realised that the solar wasn't working properly. And we went out and inspected it. I found out that one of the isolators was full of water. When I pulled the cap off, just water ran out, and that had basically burnt out the bottom. And this was the way it was set up. Like, you're not allowed to do that anymore because you've got the conduits coming in the top, which allows water to ingress into your isolators. And so what we ended up doing was basically putting your isolators on, rerunning the cabling so it comes into the bottom, and we also have to fit a drain tee on the lowest part of each conduit, so any water that does happen to get into the conduits can drain out. So after that, the system was working happily again. So yeah.
We can go to the next one. I can do that kind of. Jakey.
So yeah, this is one that I got called up probably about a month ago now. Client was just complaining the aircon wasn't working. Pretty self-explanatory why it wasn't working. So yeah, I pretty much gave him a quote on the spot, and we replaced the unit. It was yeah, pretty easy for me. Some people want to try and fix those units like that, but if you start spending money on that, you sort of open up a can of worms for more problems to happen. And then at least if you're replacing it with a new unit, you get your 5 years warranty. And yeah, everything runs heaps better. You got cooling and heating, so you pretty much should be safe for at least 10 years with a new system. So yeah, that's about it really.
I appreciate the subtlety. That's my house.
All right, guys.
Pass on to Jarrett.
As you probably all heard me go on a few times now, these the two on the left. These are old porcelain fuses. You're not allowed to put these plug-in breakers in anymore, but everybody goes to Bunnings because everyone knows how to do it themselves these days. So we come in, we'll replace everything, get rid of all these things, put every sub-circuit on an RCD, so that'll protect you, your appliances, your kids, plus the cable. Yeah, that's a much safer option. And then these old plug-in breakers or porcelain fuses that a lot of the time have cotton cables behind it, which we'll get in and we'll replace them for you as well. Just get your house up to today's standards and nice and safe.
Falea.
Thank you. Hi everyone. This house we had this client called up. They had their house painted just 2 years prior, and then all this had happened. All the paints had started to flake off again, and we came and we inspected it. And whoever did the job the first time probably just put on the interior undercoat instead of the exterior undercoat. So this is what normally happens because of the sun is on this side. The frontage you won't actually feel that because the sun doesn't come in. On the back it's really bad because the interior undercoat will not hold up the paint that's outside of it. So they've got the exterior paint on the outside, but the undercoat is not holding on. So we had to strip this back and then put a proper exterior undercoat, and then we put on the top coat. With this you should get at least 10 to 15 years on the house instead of that 2-year job.
Alright. So, from Newy Plumbing, we got call out for a sewer blockage that someone else couldn't actually get rid of. So once we turned up, we were able to locate exactly where the break was. We have a high-powered jetter, then we have a camera and also a locator, so we can actually diagnose exactly or pinpoint exactly where the break is. And as you can see there, that is not coffee flavoured porridge spurting out of that pipe. That's the real deal. And we were able to work out that had actually broken that shaft. So once they'd backfilled, they hadn't backfilled properly using like the proper gravel and also the proper backfill. So what had actually happened is as that trench sunk like that, it actually snapped the pipe. Therefore you weren't able to get through that. So that's why that, when we hit that, that was just loaded up full of sewage. So we actually had an overflow relief gully, which you'll find out the side of your house. There's a little black grate, or you might have the big old earthenware sort of thing outside your laundry. That's designed that if your house does back up, that it'll actually flow out of there with, so if it's, that comes off the main really, so you've got your sewer main. If there's a blockage in that, and it does back up and you're the lowest house past that blockage, then that sewer will pour out of that gully. We have turned up to a couple in the last 3 months that don't have an overflow relief gully, and therefore their house is full of sewer, which is not a... I'm actually feeling quite sick when I go in there, but a lot of them go, oh, that's all right, you know, I mean, no, it's not really. You might want to get a cleaner in. So that's that one. With that one, that's just another sewer that was blocked. We were able to clean that with our jetter. This one's an 80mm copper service at a school. They cut through with a demo saw. It's meant to be 300mm below ground level with water. That was actually just touching the concrete, so when they cut it, they just couldn't get past cutting through it. But we were able to get this, this is my crimper. It costs about, I think, $5,600 to buy that crimper, and that goes up to 100mm copper pipe. So we do a lot of our pipe work with that. This is what we do when we do an extension. We go back in and we just do it. We put on all this extra plumbing for an ensuite and also the bathroom. And we got the future connection that we're going to go through, but we're able to get the inspection done. And that's what you should be backfilling your trenches in, is 7 to 10 mil aggregate. And then this one here is just a bathroom renovation that we also did. Matte black toilet, work, looks good. Yeah, that's what we do.
Thank you. So yeah, I don't know if anyone wants to ask any questions, but that's for me when I go to a job. It doesn't happen all the time, but communication is a big thing for me in my business. But having there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't have the slightest about any sort of little trade thing that needs to be done or fixed, or do they know anybody? So through the B&I process. Having these boys in here as well that I know I can refer to or refer them onto customers, and I'll treat that customer the same way I do is a massive bonus for me. So thank you, boys. That's it. Yep. Good job.
We have
Gonna finish it for you, brother.
You could have. I would have forgot.